an assay. It is done on a smaller scale in a smaller oven like this, and oftentimes they will use a crucible like this one. Looks like somebody found a smaller one like this one. I'm going to pick up a smaller one.
Okay.
It's called a Q-pill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Assortment. You can see that we've collected here on site and other places. Can you reach for me? The solution will spill over. Yeah. And what you're looking for is what is called a button, or it's often referred to as, oftentimes, bright green and very pure, just clear, is a silica. The very fine is going to come out. This one looks like a new one. And they're gonna put it in here, and then it's gonna crush it to that very fine consistency. Let's get light things together. This rock, they would put it on a tray and simply hand crush it.
The old school way, yeah.
Yeah. This one actually was on site, and then it was sold to a neighbor. We bought it back. A shaker machine like this, you would stack different screens. They all have numbers,
Oh, okay.
and this machine would shake it for you so that your finest ends up at the bottom. So this one.
And this was the first place the cyanide process was used in Nevada. Two professors from University of Nevada, Reno came in here and perfected that process to the point that it's still used today. So that's a huge deal because it got us out of the mercury process. I'll talk a little more about that as we go through. So that's our two big claims to fame at this mill. The Comstock Foundation operates and runs this. We have absolutely saved this place. It was ready to fall down. Every 50 feet, a section of the building was ready to go. And we have done so much structural repair, roof repair. We got a grant, these windows, we got a grant from the Daughters of the American Revolution. We built a window factory in here. We did, over the course of a winter, over 700 panes of glass and rebuilt all the frames. There was not a single window that wasn't busted in this whole place. So once we did that, we were able to keep the pigeons out for the most part. Although on a day like today, I wouldn't be surprised to see them fly into open doors. That has happened. I was giving a tour and I said, we've been pigeon free for 6 months. And 2 pigeons flew right through that door, and then a falcon right behind them. So run it through this little mini jaw crusher, get it down as fine as they could, and then put it into this pulverizer. Basically they pour it into here. This is a spinning disc that crushes the ore down to about this. You take this, you melt it in the furnace, and then you pour it into a couple like this. This is made out of bone ash. This will absorb impurities like mercury, lead, metals that you're not after. When this cools, you flip it upside down, you end up with a thing like this. On the top here, that's called the button. And you're gonna weigh that, extrapolate it to the ton, and figure out, is this good ore that we wanna run? Back in the old days, $40 a ton was good stuff. They would run it. Today, that would be waste rock. The scale of mining today is so unbelievable. I'm going to assume you know a little about the Comstock. If I have to elaborate that, I will, but basically the Comstock lode was the largest silver boom in the history of the country. I said $40 a ton was good stuff. They were getting $370 a ton in silver ore up there. So it was an amazing thing. The Comstock, for its air, people came in. NV Energy said, why do they need three-phase power in there? They took the power out. People immediately scavenged the copper wire. So we have an electrician who's rerunning new conduit where he needs to, using old conduit where we can. We will have electricity. Then I can stop hiding the money. We're all volunteers in here, so any way we can amuse ourselves, we take it.
The bone ash couple that actually made out of ash from bone?
Yeah, yeah. And you can still buy, you can buy them on Amazon. They're still out there.
For sale in the offer.
Yeah, yeah, we can buy them here in the gift shop. But you know, yeah, they're out there. It's not, they still.
So if you like the video, but we're saying, man, I'd like to look at some of this stuff up close, I've attached pictures that have close-ups of the different items that they went through, so you can look at that if you'd like and enjoy other videos as well. Thank you. The Donovan Assay Office and Lab has an exhibit intended to provide a glimpse into the work and tools of the mining town assayer, one of the most important members of his community. It walks you through, and it has pictures saying what they did when they got the product. The fire assay procedure. It's a representative selection of ore samples are brought into the office from a miner claim. Each ore sample is ground to a fine powder. Like step one would be gold and silver ore samples. A crusher, muller, and bucking board are used to prepare the ore sample for the assay. Hand grinders and sieves, which are little pans with screens on them that get finer and finer, are used to prepare and complete the sample preparation process. After milling, the powdered sample is passed through fine sieves where oversized ore is separated for further size reduction, usually in a hand grinder, until all the powder passes through the sieve. The bottom sieve's openings are smaller than a thin human hair. Then the powdered sample and flux are weighed to the proper amounts using a simple balance. The powdered ore and flux mix is melted in a muffle furnace. The molten mix is cooled in molds. The mix melts in the crucible and separates by weight. The cooled glass is separated from the metal button. The cone-shaped slag with lead button is removed from the mold after cooling. The lead button is easily separated from the slag using a button hammer. The lead, gold, silver button is hammered into a cube to remove all the glass and placed into a couple. The couple is placed in a furnace, cupellation furnace, at 700 degrees Fahrenheit to melt the mix. The cupellation furnace is sometimes combined with the muffle furnace, which is a smaller furnace. The couple absorbs the molten lead, leaving the precious metals, and then separating the gold from the silver. The door is weighed with an analytical balance. Nitric acid is then used to dissolve the silver components of the door, leaving only gold flakes. Gold flake is again then weighed. That weight in milligrams equals the gold assay of the ore, and the difference in the weight of the door and flake is the silver assay of the ore, both in ounces per ton.